There's 4 Pokemon on the field right now, and pretty soon it's about to be 1. In one move with the Helping Hand from the Farigiraf, they can't use Fake Out because of the Armor Tail. We're going for Discharge, Tera Electric, Hadron Engine, Helping Hand, Choice Specs, 3 KOs. Insane, dude. The damage output on this guy is absurd. What's up, y'all? Talon here today with some Battle Stadium battles in the Regulation G ladder, featuring top teams in this metagame. Today I have a team that was created by Rajan Ball. Now, you're probably familiar with it at this point. He was able to get first place at the first Regulation G Regional. I believe Aaron Trailer had a very similar composition with a Ditto over the Ogerpon Cornerstone to get, I believe it was top 8 or maybe top 16, regardless, a very high finish for the both of them. Really putting Miraidon on people's radar. I think for the most part, people thought that Miraidon was kind of fake. You just needed to Rillaboom and Amoonguss your way around it, and essentially just override the terrain and then you'd be fine. But I think Rajan and Aaron were able to put together a really strong team that takes advantages of Miraidon's strengths really well as shores up its weaknesses exceptionally well. And for that reason, they were both able to do really well with it. So if you want to try the team for yourself, I have the rental code in the top right of the video, as well as the description below, along with the PS export for the team. I don't believe they released their EVs at the time of recording this. If they do, I will update that as well as the rental code. If you enjoy these videos, the rental code as a resource, please subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, let's get into a breakdown of the team. So the Miraidon is really the star of the team with the Tera Electric, Choice Specs, Volt Switch. You can literally one-hit KO Incineroar. All but max special defense, boosting nature. Incineroar will fold to a Tera Electric Volt Switch in electric terrain with the Hadron Engine boost. So it's really crazy damage. Electro Drift starts to one-hit KO. Not super effective targets. At some point, Draco Meteor can even one-hit KO Calyrex with the modest Choice Specs Hadron Engine boost. It's really crazy. And then you have Discharge, which can really lock up some endgames. We saw Rajan actually close out the final game of the finals using Discharge to knock out 3 Pokemon in a row. Didn't even matter that it wasn't single target at the end. He was still able to KO a Terapagos from near like 80% HP. So it's just an insane damaging spread attack to close out games with. Beyond that, we have the Whimsicott, which mainly is focused on setting up Tailwind, as well as Moonblast is just a bit of damage. Encore, in case anything ever tries to Fake Out or protect in front of your Miraidon, you can literally just Encore that and say, nope. Thanks for playing, nice try. Overall, the Whimsicott Miraidon lead is just something you're very commonly going to do. You can go for Tailwind Volt Switch. Honestly, with Tera Electric, KO things such as Flutter Mane, and then just switch out into Incineroar or your Ogerpon in the back and then go from there. Ursaluna Blood Moon, you might think with the Farigiraf on the team is just going to be a slow Trick Room mix-up, but it is actually max speed, which can outspeed Incineroar, some Rillaboom. It's a really cool set. So you can really outspeed Calyrex Shadow Rider as well in Trick Room. I believe it also outspeeds Urshifu Choice Scarf Adamant, which is awesome. So essentially you can pivot into the Ursaluna with the Volt Switch and then just go for really strong Blood Moons, Earth Powers, and Hyper Voices from then on. For the more defensive Pokemon on the team, we have the Ogerpon, Farigiraf, and Incineroar. Farigiraf pairs really well with the Ursaluna, and I think is really an excellent partner with the Miraidon, not just because of the Electric Seed, boosting the Farigiraf's defense stat when the Electric Terrain is on the field. Just having a switch into Calyrex Shadow Rider is really important because there's a lot of Tailwind Calyrex Shadow Rider teams that it can deal about 90% to Miraidon and Whimsicott if they're Life Orb or something like that, and outspeed you, namely. So that's really important that they can outspeed you and hit that huge damage. So having a switch in both Ursaluna and Farigiraf, as well as Incineroar, which is Assault Vest, means that the Calyrex Shadow Rider matchup is not as difficult as it would otherwise seem. The Farigiraf has Foul Play, which also doubles as a really good answer against Calyrex Ice. So Electric Seed plus Foul Play means you're boosting your defense against Calyrex and you're able to hit it with the Foul Play. Definitely a huge tool in that matchup. And then Ogerpon. Aaron had a Ditto, but I think Ogerpon proved to be very effective in Rajan's games. Just having a Pokemon that can switch into Amoonguss. So a common trap people will try and execute is have the Amoonguss on the field with, say, a Terapagos or something. And if Miraidon's already on the field, you can Volt Switch into a Grass type, but if you have Whimsicott on the field already, you're kind of trapped. So having the option to Volt Switch into a Grass type in Ogerpon and threaten damage with Ivy Cudgel or Redirection in subsequent turns with the Follow Me is just really effective. I also do want to point out, although this team doesn't look that bulky, the ability to have the Focus Sash and Protect on Whimsicott and the sturdy Spiky Shield on Ogerpon means you can actually get Tailwind up pretty consistently, like twice a game, just by switching out your Whimsicott at opportune times, getting in the Ogerpon and then Spiky Shielding. So if you're playing a Tailwind Mirror, that can be really effective to get the really chip everything down in the first Tailwind, and then come back later in the game when everything's weakened to just go for your second Tailwind and then Discharge with Miraidon to close out games that way. Incineroar here is Assault Vest, once again shoring up those matchups against things like Terapagos, Calyrex Shadow, and just like Chi-Yu I feel like Chi-Yu is something that if you ever see that as a Farigiraf, you're really scared of. And aside from Ogerpon, Cornerstone, it scares a lot of the rest of the team as well. So having those two combination of Pokemon, Ogerpon and Incineroar, to threaten Chi-Yu two different types of ways, offensively and defensively, is a smart team building choice. Once again, congratulations to Rajan on his victory. It's been a long time coming, very well earned. So yeah, if you guys want to use the team for yourself, once again, the rental code in the top right of the video and in the description below, along with the PS export. With all that being said, if you guys enjoy the videos, please subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's get into the battles. Against a Calyrex Shadow Rider team, probably with Booster Energy Flutter Mane if I had to guess, although it could be Sunny Day Focus Ash with Tornadus. Tornadus being Sunny Day, they have the Ogerpon that kind of tips me off. It could be that, but it could also be Rain Dance. Plus Urshifu, hard to call, but I think we can kind of play around with setting up Tailwind with just like Volt Switching out on the first turn. So this is a cool option of the team, is you can just lead the Farigiraf plus the Miraidon, threaten crazy when it KOs with the Miraidon, as well as just a Volt Switch out and do a Trick Room mode, which I think is how we're going to play this one. I think, yeah, the Ogerpon, if it gets in, is pretty free. They don't have any terrain overriding for the Amoonguss to deal with the Ursaluna, so I do like this a fair bit. I think Ogerpon is decent here into a lot of their guys out of Tailwind, but I think Incense just really consistent in it, so I'm going to go for that. Alright, Torn Urshifu Rapid Strike. I am comfortable with that because I can pretty freely just go for Trick Room Volt Switch, and I don't think they have a knockout on either of my Pokemon unless they go Terra Water Rain Dance, in which case I still think I have a chance to live because I am very, very bold on this guy. I could also go for Discharge, switch to Ursaluna, that'd be cute. Do I win if I do that? Probably not, because then I still lose to Miraidon, I think. Maybe not, though. If they're choice banded, yeah, I think this is pretty safe because I can, regardless, just pivot out afterwards into Fake Out plus another option. Okay, they're detecting, which is a good play in that it lets them close combat me next turn, but I think overall totally fine. What I'm actually going to do here is go for, yeah, that's a cool play. Oh, they Tailwinded? What? No. So they maybe read the Discharge or something like that, but now we actually do outspeed them. I kind of blanked. I was like, yeah, surely they're going to Bleak Wind this turn, but I kind of noticed this trend a lot. People tend to just like Tailwind in front of the Miraidon plus Farigiraf. Even though the Trick Room Volt Switch feels like pretty obvious to me, but you know, still works out. I think I'm just gonna Terra Blast, Volt Switch you. I think it's a knockout into everything. Should I? Foul Play would probably knock out the. Maybe I want to cover for the Ghost types. Maybe, maybe not. I feel like the Rain Dance, okay. You did set up Tailwind, my brother, so that's really not going to work for you. Yep, we're going to Terra Blast, break any Focus Ash, as well as hit an Amoonguss or Ogerpon pretty hard on switch. We do knock that out. That's kind of interesting. Maybe they thought it would be Choice Scarf on the Miraidon. Kind of a wild pick, though. Not going for Bleak Wind feels kind of like a misplay there because I get Blood Moon in for free. They should have been going for Bleak Wind these turns. If they had, they would have been in a good spot, unless I guess they Bleak Wind dropped my Miraidon when they detected. That would have been really funny, but yeah. Overall, I think seeing the value of the Miraidon lead, it's just so high value to go for Volt Switch, and there's not a ton of counterplay, truthfully, to that, so it's just always feels pretty good. No berries, so sad, but I think we have Foul Play to cover for that, and Terra Normal Hyper Voice should otherwise get us there. They'd have to go for a uh-oh. Yeah, that's kind of how these battles can go. Even if they don't forfeit on the third turn, it more or less feels like they should at some point, because you just get into these locks where you get the Blood Moon Ursaluna in Trick Room, and if you still have the Miraidon in them back, it's just I forget who said it. I think it was Wolf on stream. He was like, yeah, all right, the remaining Pokemon on the field, they're just locked in. Trick Room's about to end, but it's kind of just a Miraidon waiting room where everything can't really knock out Miraidon. It does have good stats, good bulk, and the speed means just in the late game after Trick Room goes down, you can't just like start taking knockouts with Electro Drift. Okay, Zamazenta plus Entei, Raging Bolt, Urshifu, Tornadus, and Fluttermane. Don't see a lot of Zamazenta plus Tailwind, but I think Ursaluna pretty well primed against that. I also like Miraidon a fair bit, and Assault Vest would be a little annoying on the Miraidon, but not the end of the world. Farigiraf, no need for it because of Tailwind, I think. I like Whimsicott a fair bit. And then I think Ogerpon, Ursa are good. Maybe Instant Ursa. Nah, I need to be able to answer their Urshifu, so we're going to go pretty offensive this battle. Okay, so Urshifu plus Torn, happy to see that. I think unless they're Choice Band, they don't have a knockout here. With, like I have a double knockout with Discharge if I want it, if they aren't Focus Sash, and if they are, do I lose on the spot? I don't think so. But they also have to be Choice Scarf to even remotely answer me here. I think I can kind of freely just Tailwind, Volt Switch the Torn. There's not a lot they can do about that. I think it's likely Focus Sash Torn, but even if they are, worst case they take a knockout on the switch-in slot. Maybe do a bit of chip damage. Yeah, they switch out that guy, which is fine. We're going to get the Volt Switch on the Torn. Zama would have not been knocked out by Volt Switch. Maybe it would have if I had... No, it wouldn't have if I had Tera'd, but it would have done a whole lot of damage. So we get the Volt Tailwind off. We're going to be hitting first on the Torn, which is cool. And they go for that, which means we can Encore lock them the next turn. And unfortunately, we can't go into Ursaluna because of this guy. I like the idea of just bringing in the Ursaluna, maybe baiting a body press. I think Ursaluna baits body press, but also kind of bluffs Tera Ghost here, which I like a lot. And I can just Moonblast the Torn if I want to, or Encore it. I think Encore is better because they don't have a lot of great switch-ins. Or they don't have a lot of, like, switching into Urshifu wouldn't be good for them, and Taunt into Whimsicott is annoying, but not game-breaking, I think. Because I can always switch it out. Yep, they're body pressing first, of course. That does a lot of damage, but let me check Zamazenta's speed stat. If they're Timid Max, they will outspeed me, which is problematic. Zamazenta. Jolly. Jolly Max speed would outspeed me and hit me with a body press, and then I would lose. So how can we stop that? I'm not sure I can, actually. That's the issue. We both got Tail on the same turn, so we need 2 more turns to stall. Once we do that, we can go into our remaining Pokemon and close from there. I think we just need a Pokemon with Protect on the field. And if they ever go for a non-body press move, we can lock them into that. I think if they... Yeah, we'll see what happens this turn, but regardless, I think at the end of this next turn, we'll have another Pokemon on the field that can protect, whether it be the Ogerpon or the Ursaluna. I think it's both fine, especially if they don't go for an... Oh, that's a mistake. They went for Behemoth Bash, which means I can actually lock them into that, and Ursaluna is now looking very good. Yeah, that's fine. That is totally okay with me, because now we just go for a Ivy Cudgel and Encore. Follow me. Follow me. Encore. Because I'm going for this because if I go for Ivy Cudgel and they Thunderclap, I don't get a lot of value. I also lose my Focus Sash on the Whimsicott and go down to like 1 HP. If they... Yeah, they Thunderclap, which is cool. I can actually Encore them into that, and I think that's probably what I go for. Because I should just be able to Draco. So I have to be conscious that even in Tailwind, I might still lose to the rest of their Pokemon. But I do have a Electro Drift KO into them, and I can Encore them into Thunderclap. I'm pretty sure Electro Drift is a KO, actually. I'm not certain, but I feel like it should be. And then I can Encore them into Thunderclap with a 4x resist, and I'm not going for the Tera because I will become 2x resist, and that'll do, obviously, double damage. So I think I can take 2 Thunderclaps. Oh, what? I forgot to set up Tailwind. Okay. I am foolish. That is crazy. That was so bad. So we're also seeing a cool mechanic because... yeah, that's going to be not a knockout. Interesting. So because priority for the move you pick is initiated at the start of the turn because I encored it, it actually wasn't even a knockout there. So now we have Electro Drift again. I don't even have to attack. I can go for Tailwind. Oops. Attacking would be a mistake. And now we, just knock out the Zamazenta. So seeing the value of Encore there, even though I misplayed that, maybe a Thunderclap plus Behemoth Bash would have knocked me out. I kind of doubt it, but it's definitely possible. But we didn't get to that point. I'm also honestly shocked the Zamazenta lived that Electro Drift. So yeah, there's the Thunderclap, but like I said, no terrain at this point even, and we're just tanking those hits, and we should be able to not even tear the rest of the battle and still close it. I also don't have to attack at all because I just continue locking them into Thunderclaps. They go Urshifu, they can't KO me with Aqua Jet, and I just do the same thing. As long as I never attack with the Whimsicott, I am good. Is that necessarily true? They haven't gone for a Tera yet, so maybe I lose... Like Ursaluna could lose to them, but I think with my EV spread, I'm max speed, I should be able to beat them. Should I switch here? How many turns of Encore left? One more turn. Yeah, I have to lock them in the Thunderclap, so I can't yet switch. And yeah, just another Tailwind, I think. Should do it. Just unlimited PP on that move, essentially, for the sake of this battle, so I just go for that. They detect, fair enough. But we can once again go for an Encore into the Raging Bolt, will outspeed their Ursh, and be fine there. I guess it's kind of an interesting spot where we could Encore them into Detect, which would be funny, but I don't think that's my play at all. Locking Thunderclap means we always beat their Urshifu. With Encore, I think. Because Thunderclap obviously not effective against the Ursaluna, so I can just, if they Aqua Jet into my Whimsicott this turn to prevent it from going for Encore or Moonblast in subsequent turns. Okay, they're going to Tera. If it's Tera Water, pretty sure they're still going down. Any other Tera I think is going to be a 2-hit KO roughly. Fighting. Okay, that's fine as well. Doubt it's a KO, but probably going to do like 90. Yep, we Encore the Thunderclap. Again, they're going to do a bit of damage with the Thunderclap, but pretty negligible in the grand scheme. No Aqua Jet's kind of interesting. And we just knock them out no matter what. So yeah, this is really the value of Encore. The Raging Bolt would have been a problem if they hadn't gone for Thunderclap, maybe. But I think if they hadn't, we would have been able to go for Tailwind and just like Tera Electric, knock out the Zamazenta, and then close with the Ursaluna. Thankfully didn't have to get in that position because they made a bit of a misplay on the Thunderclap. Now though, we can switch and close it that way. Yeah, they're never able to beat the Ursa so long as we Encore them into Thunderclap. They go for Draco. At that point, it maybe gets dicey if we miss our own Draco. So I do really like Whimsicott's Encore on this team and in teams in general. It's definitely a tool where there's so much supportive, focused Pokemon. Lots of trying to pivot around your really crazy offense in the Miraidon. Just Encore gives you so much capacity to slow people down in trying to do that. Or at least punish them really hard for trying it. Okay, up against a balanced Caloric Shadow team with Raging Bolt and Rillaboom most notably. That can be annoying for us, as well as the Amoonguss is a bit of a problem. But I think Ursaluna is pretty good here, truthfully. They lead Amoonguss and switch, like double switch, that's annoying, but it is what it is. I think I like Farigiraf. I like Whimsicott is pretty good. Yeah. I could see Whimsicott Farigiraf being solid. Just as like partners, not necessarily in that order, but Incin's also a very safe lead against everything but Ursh. And if they do that, I want to maybe go for Whimsicott to switch in on a Draco or something like that. So I like that. And then maybe Ogerpon last is good. Having a switch in for Bleak Wind as well is very valuable. So I think I will go for that. So 3 supports plus the Miraidon. Although against Calyrex Shadow, the Incin is definitely more of a sticking point for them, where I can actually do damage back to all their grass types, especially in electric terrain. The Incin, no safety goggles means I get a lot of value out of the Assault Vest, whereas normally I'd be susceptible to Spore. So Cali, Rillaboom, totally fine. Like I said, I have Farigiraf exactly for this reason, and they can probably fake out my Incin. They probably will do so, in fact, but if they don't, I get Volt Switch knockoff. So I think I'm going to go for that. Feels pretty strong. Yeah. I don't think I have to play around with the Calyrex too much. I think they're more likely to go for a Nasty Plot than anything else. I may preserve my Terastallization. I don't have a lot of defense. Probably actually Farigiraf Volt Switch is better for me here. I could just knock off. I played a bit aggressive here. I'm going to Volt Switch the Miraidon or the Calyrex and switch into my Farigiraf. They're switching out, so I'm not going to get fake outed. Worst I do is take a Tera Fairy Draining Kiss, but Raging Bolt is out. So that's good news, I believe, for my Farigiraf, or my Whimsicott in the late game. If they go for a Calm Mind at any point, we're kind of just cooking them. But they could easily protect. They Nasty Plot. We caught them perfectly. Because now the damage they're outputting is actually really minuscule compared to what I can do to them. Yeah, we knocked them into foul play range very easily. And now, who do we go for? Whimsicott's tempting. They can do a lot of damage to Farigiraf. Oh, I can just Nasty Plot them. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Or Encore them into Nasty Plot. And switch out into my... I don't think Miraidon is the right switch yet. I don't love taking any damage. I think I'm going to switch into Incin, just tank a Draco potentially, and have some stuff active the next turn. But it's cool that I have the Encore now. They went for Nasty Plot, not Astral, which would have been worst case, I think, because then they could stop my Encore this turn. But yeah, they're going to switch out. They see the Encore coming and don't bite. Amogus is out, though. Looking good for the Incin, though. If they Calm Mind, that'd be ideal as well. Cool. Well, we don't... Obviously, Encore doesn't work here, but they have to, what? Go for Dragon Pulse? That is suggestive of a Calm Mindset, which is ideal for me, I think. Because now I can go for a U-turn into the Amogus slot and go for a Moonblast into the Raging Bolt. And I think their best play is actually Protect Amogus and stall a turn. Like, Dragon Pulsing, essentially. They could Thunderclap, break my Sash, but I think eventually I'll heal it back. Oh, they do not. That's a lot of damage. That's definitely the Calm Mindset. So Dragon Pulse doing a lot, but I think not notably knocking me in range of an Astral Barrage or a Tera Fairy Draining Kiss yet. And they aren't Rocky Helmet, which means we do get the very free switch into the Miraidon. So I went for U-turn and not a direct switch because, one, the U-turn damage is nice into Amogus potentially, and also it means they can't switch into their Miraidon and catch me on a... Ooh, good Sludge Bomb. Really good. If they poison, that could be annoying. No poison. Cool. And there's the lefties. Perfect. But I am starting to get low on damage output. So, I think it might be Draco time. And Moonblast is tempting. Moonblast is very tempting, but I think I should just be able to Volt Switch. Probably not, because I can still get Spored, I think. I don't mind Tera Electric, Draco. That wouldn't be great, would it? I think Tera Electric Volt Switch has no chance to knock out the Raging Bolt. But what I don't want to happen is for my Pokemon to get put to sleep here. So I'm going to go for Tailwind, I think. Or Protect. Yeah, I'm going to Moonblast. Just in case they give it to me, I doubt it. Yeah, they're going to switch in the Raging Bolt. Interesting. Or they're going to switch into their Rillaboom, so... Tera Electric covers for them staying in and doing a heaping chunk of damage to the Amoonguss to maybe knock it out with a Drift later in the game. But I could have Draco'd the Rillaboom slot there. Notably, if they do not Terrastalize or Thunderclap this turn, they will lose their Raging Bolt. Protect's also an option, but I can Encore that, as we've been doing. So yeah, Sludge Bomb definitely got them some mileage on the Amoonguss, but there is the Terrastalization. So I could have Volt Switched that, it was an option, but I didn't want them to go for a Rillaboom switch in, essentially. Yeah, would have been a good play, but Moonblast damage is still definitely a lot, and very helpful. Yep, there's the Volt Switch. They can't hit the Amoonguss here, so it has to be Dragon Pulse, actually. And I think at this point, I would rather take the hit on my Farigiraf than anything else. Right? Because maybe a high horsepower or something on the Rillaboom would be annoying for me. Maybe... I don't know. I could Tailwind as well. I like Tailwind Flare Blitz would have been cheeky. Drop would have been good. Have gone for 2, but haven't gotten 1. That's about a 50% chance, but yeah, that's a lot of damage. Okay. What do I like here? I think Tailwind plus Tera Blast is a KO onto them. They can't Thunderclap me, obviously. Thunderclap. Honestly, Tailwind seems pretty good. Amoonguss is starting to be an issue for us. I think I'm going to Tera Blast Tailwind here. Because I think it KOs the Raging Bolt based on the Moonblast damage, but they protect. Fair enough. They still have to go for a U-turn to take a knockout, which means I either get their Farigiraf still in, they take a bunch of Woodhammer damage, or, you know, something like that. So this is all working okay, like not ideal, especially with the double healing up the Raging Bolt this turn, but there's the U-turn, getting rid of the Whimsicott, which would have been annoying to continue being on the field, but now they get rid of the capacity for me to stop them from setting up with Encore, essentially. Amoonguss is a threat for sure. I'm not sure I knocked that out with Draco. I can try. I think I might try to, honestly. With Helping Hand Draco into the Amoonguss slot. Miraidon versus Amoonguss. Do I even need Helping Hand? With modest specs, if they set up grassy terrain, they'll live. Unless I double into it with Tera Blast. And they have not... I could Discharge. It feels like Draco is the correct play here. Into the Amoonguss and then double it. I have to imagine Tera Blast. Oh, that's on bold. No, I think I just Helping Hand. Right. Helping Hand, Draco. Because unfortunately I'm not Goggles. Yeah, they're going to switch out into the, I have to imagine, the Rillaboom. So if they don't protect Amoonguss, this is a knockout on them if we hit. And yeah, I'm suspect we'll be able to knock out the rest of their Pokemon, but Rillaboom should fold to a Draco with Helping Hand for sure. The issue is now they're locking me into range for some other attacks. We hit the Draco, that's going to be a knockout. Yep, easy peasy, no chance with the Helping Hand. So that's a good knockout. We're getting closer to just being able to just knock everything out with Incineroar and Farigiraf, which is cool. I'm pretty sure the Calyrex also folds here. I have to be careful. At some point they could make a read that I'm not going to protect or something, but I should just be able to Foul Play, switch to Incin here, and they can't knock me out with the Electric Seed boost. Yep. Switch out, switch in. I could Trick Room as well. That'd be something. Don't think it's that valuable though. This feels more correct. That Calm Mind Raging Bolt could still get out of control. If it gets one Calm Mind, it's going to beat my Farigiraf, and if I lose the speed advantage, I'll also lose to the Calyrex, so I kind of have to thread this needle pretty hard. I think they can't knock out my Farigiraf this turn, so we're good there. They might have to just bank on me not having a move that can hit Calyrex. Protect, fair enough, but we are going to get active Fake Out pressure next turn, and we can make a read off that, I think. Given they've already used their Tera, and this isn't going to do that much, they probably have to U-turn. Yep, U-turn, good play. Doesn't crit, so we're still alive and healing steadily from there. From them. I think with Tailwind up, though, we still have a fairly free Flare Blitz into the Raging Bolt slot, or the Calyrex slot. And we could close off that, no? Is this the last turn of Tailwind? Healing a lot on the Raging Bolt, but again, I think if we can just get Electro Drift active on the field, we knock that out. Tailwind's still up. Okay, last turn of Tailwind, so this should be... Look at my HP on the Miraidon, still full HP, so I'll be able to live any hit from the Calyrex. So this should just be Foul Play Flare Blitz. Would Calm Mind lose me anything? Would U-turn be better? No, I don't want to take a Dragon Pulse. I think we win with Flare Blitz Foul Play. Maybe it should have been Tera Blast, just to do a bit more chip damage. Yeah. Yeah, I don't love this. I might have chipped myself a little too low. Yeah, we crit, but that doesn't matter. Are they going to Calm Mind or another option? Another secret third option. I think that should have been Trick Room Foul. Oh, Calm Mind. They might knock me out with the Dragon Pulse now, unfortunately. Can they take a double knockout? I don't think so. Dragon Pulse. How does this shake out? Is my only question. They're healing, but I'll always knock that out with Drift. So I just have to knock out. I have to level a knockout onto their Calyrex. The only question is Miraidon Dragon Pulse a KO onto me? +1, modest, Dragon Pulse, probably not a KO if I'm Tera Electric. Dragon Pulse. So really close battle here. Yeah, they don't have a KO onto my Miraidon at all. So what's their win condition here? Double protect, I think? I believe that's their only win con. 2 Calm Minds, maybe? Yeah, probably 2 Calm Minds. Dragon Pulse, that's fine, I live that. Yep. So, no. Oh. AV probably knocks me out then. Guess I had to Trick Room. Oh, yeah, I had to Trick Room there. That's my bad. Yeah, I had to Trick Room there. Ah, man. That was stupid. Now they're healing too much. I might live a Dragon Pulse though. I am very specially defensive, but I think if I just take this knockout, I win. Very close battle. We'll see how it ends. Psyshock plus Dragon Pulse then. I think I lived the Dragon Pulse. It's only +1. And I am AV super special defensive, but I had to go for Trick Room that last turn, I guess. Nice, we live that easily. Cool. I thought so, but I started to get a little scared there. Yeah, so now we should just beat it with... Because they don't have a spread move, we're always going to hit them with an Electro Drift, and then close from there with Flare Blitz, I believe. Maybe it's a knockoff, though. So that's their last Grassy Terrain healing. We're going to heal a bit ourselves. And I don't think I have to run the Calc, I'm pretty sure we knock out. But I could have ended this a long time ago if I had just not Flare Blitzed the Amoonguss. If I had not Volt Switched the Amoonguss, if I had Volt Switched the Bolt that turn. A lot of the times they play really defensive in front of the potential Dragon option just because there's so much gain if you do hit the Dragon move into the Tera Fairy. But yeah. We actually don't have a guaranteed KO, surprisingly. We're going to do like 72 to 85 depending on their bulk. But since we live the Dragon Pulse regardless, we should be fine. And a Flare Blitz at neutral will definitely get us there. So yeah, really close game. They're going to Thunderclap there, but not enough. 2 Electro Drifts always wins. Yep, let's just sit back and see. Once again, we're in the Miraidon waiting room. Oh my goodness, that's way less bulky than I expected. How did that do so much? That is actually a pretty... Am I missing a Calc here? That is not super specially defensive. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow, okay. Good game to them, but honestly, I feel like I get a handle on how much damage this Pokemon can do, and it always just surprises me. It should not... I guess I was looking at +1 AV. Oh yeah, Electro Drift always KOs even +1. Tera Fairy, Raging Bolt, that is so insane. This Pokemon's nuts. Okay, another Miraidon team. I feel like it's been definitely popularizing on ladder. Not this variant that really doesn't take advantage of Quark Drive at all. But, you know, this team has a lot of Quark Drive, so respect there. Feel like it's an Imprison Farigiraf though, which is like annoying. They don't have Tailwind. I'm going to definitely abuse that. Yeah, like what do they do about Ursaluna in Trick Room? Not a lot. They can't do a whole lot about that. So what I'm going to try and do this game is actually preserve my Terastallization on the Miraidon, because if I can Terastallize to Terra Normal on my Ogerpon, I don't have to worry about being Ice Beamed or Hydro Pumped by the by Iron Bundle, sorry, Brain Freeze. Hopefully it doesn't freeze me. Yeah, let's see how that goes though. I feel pretty confident we can do it. They have to really leverage their Iron Bundle speed boost on the Quark Drive really well, and if they go to Trick Room, the only thing that can take advantage of that is the Raging Bolt, or the Iron Boulder and the Ogerpon. And since it's not going to be that threatening to my Raging Bolt and Ursaluna, wrong bears. So let's see what they go for. If they don't lead Iron Bundle, I'm kind of chilling. They'd have to lead Iron Bundle Miraidon, which is threatening for sure, but also liable to getting just like Draco'd turn 1. And I'm probably gonna maybe go for that. Yep, Miraidon Farigiraf is interesting. They are testing me, because what I want to go for is Tera Normal Volt Switch. Or Tera Volt Switch now? They're tempting me. They really are. I have a Farigiraf in the back myself. If they set up Trick Room, is that an issue? Probably not. Can anything switch into an Electro Drift? I don't think so. So I think I'm going to go for that. No real reason to just give up Ursaluna, I don't think. Well, does Farigiraf live this? Maybe not. Hard to say, and if it does, I can reverse Trick Room. They'd have to be Terra Ground, which our Farigiraf is Terra Ground, but generally not that common. I mean, they don't have to be Terra Ground to live this, but they're going to go for a Terra themselves, which is interesting. We will outspeed them and get Tailwind, so what are they going for? Tera Fairies? Yeah, we didn't bite, thankfully. If we had Volt Switched that, it would have gone down, I think, but happy to take the Ferrograph instead. Looking at the calc, oh my god, are you serious? It has to be Sassy 252 to have a 56.3% chance, 43.7% chance to live. So this is favored worst case. Or their Focus Sash, which seems unlikely, but, you know, non-zero. Yeah, that just goes down. That's crazy. Are you serious? Max special... This is a bulky Pokemon. This is 120 HP stat. This is nuts. I mean, I imagine going into Ursaluna is fine, even if they Draco Meteor me. That's okay. Because I just get... Yeah, they're Dazzling Gleaming. Okay, fine. They have to bring an Iron Bundle, which is something of note. But I can just Moonblast Protect the bundle. So we live that, but barely. That is another really effective set. I like the Dazzling Gleam set. You can go for your spread move a bit more often. It's basically Tapu Koko on steroids, essentially. They don't have a priority move. If they don't bring an Iron Bundle here, I can pretty much just go for Hyper Voice, though, or Blood Moon into the Miraidon. I feel like that specs based on the damage output. Yep. Oh, Ogerpon. That's interesting. I don't know if I love that on their side. I think I can kind of just go for... just Moonblast Hyper Voice? Is that KO? Or should I just go for a knockout? I think I'm going to go for the knockout. I'm pretty sure that's specs, so a Blood Moon will knock it out. Yep, follow me. So they're gonna... It would have been better to go for Hyper Voice Moonblast if that KOs, which I'm not certain it would because I am timid. But they're gonna take a double KO on their side. But with us having the Tailwind advantage and them being choice specs and us just having a knockout with Drift into them, I do feel pretty good about the position, especially since no priority given the Ferrograph in the back. So there's the Gleam. Not too worried. Again, given we have 2 more turns of Tailwind, like losing the Ursaluna and the Whimsicott is actually better for us because it gets us the Miraidon in quicker. Now if this were Incineroar in the back or like any non-priority Pokemon, so if we had Ogerpon in the back, if we had Incin, it'd be kind of weird. I think we'd still be able to fake out their Incin and win that way, but with priority blocking I don't see a way they can win. Okay, it is Incin. Alright, buddy. So, let's play a game. How much does Miraidon Tera Fairy take from a Volt Switch here, or a Discharge? Alright. Let's just wipe the slate clean, huh? Let's see if they have anything that can take this. Okay, just waiting for them to sign their death certificate. Alright, there's 4 Pokemon in the field right now, and pretty soon it's about to be 1. In one move with the Helping Hand from the Ferrograph, they can't use Fake Out because the Armor Tail, we're going for Discharge, Tera Electric, Hadron Engine, Helping Hand, Choice Specs, 3 KOs. Insane, dude. The damage output on this guy is absurd. Really, really wild. Knocking out Incin, knocking out Miraidon. These are legendary Pokemon. This is the best VGC Pokemon ever, just folding easily to a spread move. Wow. Just an exemplary showing for the Ferrograph Miraidon combo. And that's really what you're trying to drive to. You're either trying to get the Helping Hand active with Electro Drift or Discharge, and your opponent doesn't have any defensive resources left, whether it be Rillaboom, Protect, or anything like that. That's really the that's really what we were driving to, and we got there pretty well, I think. So that'll do it for the battles. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to use the team for yourself, the rental code in the top right of the video, as well as PokePaste in the description below. I'll also have Rajan's Twitter link below. If you enjoy the videos, please subscribe. And yeah, with all that being said, peace, y'all.